say hello. In fact, if I'm not live, don't say hello in chat. And that will actually tell me a lot more than people suddenly saying hello. Also, how's the, how's it going? How's the sound? Can you hear the ambient background? How's that going for you? Say hello. I am live. That's good to know. There you go. So I just thought, I'd sit down, I'd have a little chat, because I have had I've had all of this for like 2-3 weeks now, and I've been putting out these videos and just entirely on my own. It's been so sad, and so I decided, you know what, it's time to talk to some people. Let's discuss. So maybe we're just going to have like an hour of me just talking to myself, because chat's really weird and uninteractive sometimes. Let's find out. I have invited a few people onto the show, but let's see if they turn up. Don't know. I do have 2 things I want to talk about first, though, and that is a bit of the terrain, because I was going to be doing, a bit of a chat about terrain in a video, which did say a few things that I think are relatively important to know. But then there's also going to be a little bit of discussion over line of sight. I don't know if everybody here... Has everybody here gone through the actual line of sight rules? The big man reads book videos I did, and got their heads around how all of that works? That's my big question to you. Let me know. Well, guess what? In about a minute, once I've given people enough time to come to the stream because it's gone live, I'm going to try and discuss that with you. For now, what we're really doing is having the little bit of the thing that happens before any actual content occurs, where, I don't know if you know, but when you do live streams, you have to just sit there, because it takes people a while to get the notification, and then click on it, and then come to the stream. So, unfortunately, this isn't my merch. I'm not wearing my merch. I had to put all of my merch clothing into the washing machine, so I apologize. Oh, okay, hold on. So I'm using some software, so I can actually click a thing. Okay, here we go. Boom. I can bring up comments. Let's look at comments on the screen. Marty, did they incorporate the latest balance data into the White Dwarf teams reprinted in the annual? No, they did not. The only thing they've changed is there was a day 1 typo for one of these Skitaris attack values. It was down at 2, whereas it should have been at 5, and that has been changed. Nothing else has been. Marty, pillars are weirdly inconsistent. That's what I'm about to talk about. They're not. It just took a lot of thinking to figure out what they're actually supposed to be. Okay. Well, with that said, no sexy shirt. That's fair, Lazarus. That's very fair. Let's talk about line of sight. Because, no. Let's talk about terrain. Let's talk about terrain. Because this needs to be discussed very briefly. This is a piece of terrain, and I just want to show you what it looks like to put together and how quickly it works. And the pitfall. So the big thing, this is the first thing I'm going to say, in fact, because I suspect a lot of you already have heard it, but maybe you don't know it. And that is, do you see here, this piece of terrain? It's not gonna, is it gonna, who cares? You can kind of see. So, as you can tell, I've put my paint jobs on it. There you go. And this end, you see I've then scalpeled off all of the paint. Yes, that's because otherwise it doesn't fit. This one, I have not scalpeled off the paint. Okay, let's see what difference that makes. Okay, so we then take one of our pieces of wool. Here we go. We'll grab this, and I'll put on this piece, the piece that I have scalpeled off. Okay, goes in. Look at that. That fits. And we can then take an end cap, and we just slide it on. There you go. That is a piece of terrain put together, sturdy AF. All right. Oh, also notice on the bottom, I've put A2, B2. You need to do that. It tells you in the book you need to do this, and you do. Otherwise, you will never put a board together. I promise you that. So anyway, there you go. That's how you put together. That was how quick and easy that was. Please avert your eyes as I now try and take this off. Okay. It's gonna happen. Okay. It has in the past taken me a lot longer to do that. So that was a good one. Right, now let's try and put this one on. Right, so we just go like that. That's it. So I can't put it on any further than that. And that means this isn't going to go on. So there you go. This is more than just a layer of paint. It's not much more, but I promise you that what you want to do is firstly, yes, before you spray your stuff, put masking tape over the connector joints. But even after you've done that, I just scalpel down the sides. It makes everything fit so much better. Look, when it just slides in, you don't need this bit to be a decent, strong connection because the end cap makes it that. Oh, also, not just these connection points, put masking tape around these. You don't want this to be particularly tough, okay? Like these already fit well. You don't need another layer of paint in there. On a lot of these bits on the board behind me here, I'm going to need to get a screwdriver and pick them off. Could you just file it? Great question. So I actually went out and bought myself a super cheap Dremel, you know, because I figured I have to go and scalpel down every single connector joint. I don't want to do that. I'm going to get a Dremel. I went out, I got a Dremel. Took ages, didn't work. A scalpel is just much better. There you go. That is my official recommendation. Could be wrong, you know, maybe not, but let's have a quick look. Sorry, I'm terrible with chat. Something I'm wondering is, what will the larger communities such as your Discord or Command Point be playing? Will we still play classic Vantage Kill Team? Ooh, well, that's the question, isn't it? You know, it's too early to know. This stuff hasn't even released. You guys have known the rules for 24 hours. It's almost impossible to say what are people going to do. It's entirely possible that we're going to get all of this and just say, you know what? Nah, don't like it. We don't like the gameplay that it does. We don't like how it works. We don't like anything about it. We've decided that actually there's too many people that are just sitting by doors and corners. Talking about doors and corners, let's quickly go and have a little look at... Here we go. So, what we have here... is this the best layout? Hold on. I don't know how anything's working. There you go. Right. Hold on. Alright. Ah, there you go. It looks like I'm looking at my example. So, I wanted to just very quickly go over a single look at some line of sight differences, because it took me a little bit of reading, because they start talking about essentially no part of a wall, once it is a wall that you are parallel to, can act as cover, which I think is cool. It means that you can't do any of this weird janky hiding behind things, like this little tiny thing that just touches your foot thing, right? Cool. However, you then have to understand what a corner and what an end of wall is. So, it took me a long time. Basically, what you have to do is you have to be able to shoot around this corner. So here's the question. Can this gunner shoot this Kroot? Feel free, have a think. You know, this is essentially one of the examples in the book, but I think I can explain it a little bit better. So, what do you guys think? How early can you put up a bat rep? Is there no, hold on, I meant to do this properly. How early can you put up a battle report? Is there an embargo? The embargo finished on Saturday at 10 AM. In theory, I could put up a battle report. I just haven't, because they take a lot more work to produce. Yeah. Should we port the wall rules into conventional kill team? So this is something that I had a lot of thinking about. I think that for like fun casual stuff, it's possible that actually we would really like moving over from like, and just saying, and I think casually it'll be totally fine to say that you can, if you want, play close quarters combat rules or that kill zone rules on any other board. I don't think we need to be constricted just to the Into the Dark terrain, and I think that will actually work totally fine. and there won't be any issues. In fact, it might even be better than just playing Octarius. You know, being able to include guard, being able to say no, you can't toe in to cover, might actually be a better way to play. Okay, so you're saying, so we've got Marty saying he needs to move past the magic orange line. I suspect he's read some stuff already in the Discord. No, they can't. Concealed? If so, no. Yes, but it gets cover. Do you know of the guy who does the cars will make more templates? Don't know. Sorry. Part of his base anyway. Lol, yeah, tell me about it. Blah, don't worry. Oh. Yes. This guy here, he's a fool. Because he makes his content on battle reports. What a mistake. Just read the Warcom news. Much easier. Yes, valid with no cover. So what's happening there? Let's say yes, but GE, so no. Cover, he's behind a corner. Okay. So, I'm definitely going to not say this in an elegant manner. To cut a long story short, no, he cannot fire. He can draw a cover line to it, and but that cover line will go through that pillar. And what we have to decide is, okay, let me show you the other angle, which is a legal shot. So this is an illegal shot. You could not make this shot. He's behind a corner. Okay. This is now a legal shot. What's changed? I mean, apart from me doing a slightly different angle, which makes it seem like more has changed. If we look at this board behind us, it is on a grid. It's roughly a 4x4 grid, whatever it is, but every grid line, you can see it on the page here, on the screen. Every grid line is a grid line with columns. Your columns in every single map go exactly on the column lines on the board, on the column squares on the board. So, oddly, you never have to check line of sight because you have your lines already drawn on that board. So, you can see where the column and the wall is supposed to lie. Yeah? Trick question, it's the same picture. It's funny. But you don't even need to get down to see like line of sight. You don't need to get down to its level. You can just look at it. You can say, my base is now over that magic orange line. As Marty said earlier, the magic orange line makes sense if you read the rules, but it's a thing. We can ignore it for now. But yes, you've moved over the magic line because you can now draw your cover line from the other side of the wall. This pillar is no longer a corner. It's no longer an end. It's no longer a corner. Therefore, you have essentially claimed the wall. Once you claim the wall, you can do stuff with it. There you go. You claim the wall. Therefore, because it is a wall you have claimed, it's not something that you have to worry about. Right. Okay. Well, with all of that said, I need to put my headset on so that I can hear stuff. My bad. How's it going, chat? How's everyone jiving? Good? We're not going to do a double or triple hello because I don't have the sound effect. Wait, is that true? Give me a sec. Right, hold on. I've got the sound effect. No, I don't. Because I can't put the source into this software. Alright, well with that done, guys, let's see what else we're doing here. Because I've got no clue. Right, let's see who's... So, you know, what's the title of this? I think, have I just called it Party or something? I'm going to turn this ambient music down. It's very loud in my headset. Okay. I know that one of them has to go pretty quick. So let's draw in our old buddy, Emmanuel. Hello, Emmanuel. I probably should have given a little bit of warning before I pulled you in. Hi, how's it going?
Oh, you're fine. I'm actually pulling up. Let's see if I could do this well.
Oh, are you going to challenge me on the rules questions I just gave?
No, of course. I have your video, and I'm trying to give you a double
the double audio there.
Also, my secondary channel talks about.
No. You pulled me in too soon. I didn't have.
I did, yeah. I apologize. I apologize.
There you go.
Oh, you were going to try and pull it up. Ah, that was close. That was close. Yeah. So hi. So Emmanuel, who are you? For those that don't know.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel. You can find me on YouTube, Strategic Advantage with my buddy Alex. Take that hat off, put on another hat. You could find me on Killzone podcast with buddy Bearded, Chris, and you can find me all over the Discords. I'm the cheery chap, as you might call me across the pond. A cheery chap that's always excited about Kill Team.
Okay.
Yeah, and I am
Awesome.
very excited about Into the Dark.
Are you? Well, that's lucky. Otherwise, it would be very awkward to have you on today.
Oh, is that what we're talking about? Oh, blimey.
No. Actually, I've sprung this on you as a trap because I was going to reunite you with an old friend. It's Kill Team Stream.
Hey,
hello,
how you doing, Sheldon?
Sheldon, how's it going, bud?
Doing all right. Ready for a party, apparently.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Much better layout.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring a few of the old guard on. How's it going, Sheldon? Who are you? Why have I just called you Sheldon, but your name is Kill Team Stream?
I am Sheldon, aka Kill Team Stream. I play Kill Team. I used to run LVO, SEO, that sort of stuff, and I'm still part of the team that runs the Kill Team Open out of Baltimore. So get ready for the announcements for that coming soon. Yeah, helping Chris right now running the Nova Open stream, that sort of stuff. So
and also Bats, your other streaming. Is it Friday nights that you're doing your Friday night fight stuff?
Yeah. Most Friday nights we get together at Chris Blacky's house and play some Kill Team. So if you go to twitch.tv/KillTeamStream, maybe you can check it out. Give us a follow.
For sure. Yeah. Normally, I get the email. The notification that somebody's gone live at like 4 a.m. When I wake up in the morning and okay, well, never mind.
You're not setting an alarm to be ready in time? You're not there with your tea
well, I
or
used
coffee?
I used to.
We have to reserve that for our 5 a.m. Games Workshop reveals here in California.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough. Yeah, so awesome. We've got more people. Again, Emmanuel. So you two used to do the Kill Team Stream. It's not the Killzone podcast together, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They still do it. Check
They
it out.
do?
It's cool podcast, Bearded, Emmanuel. It's they're always getting into cool topics. The latest one was all about the Intercessor Squad, I believe. Super insightful stuff about the game.
Excellent. Right. You know what? I've realized this is going to take way too long. I'm gonna speed through this now. We also have Steve, who is also from the Kill Team Open crew, as I call them, which is Steve and Kill Team Stream. I didn't invite Dave because I forgot what his Discord is. We also have Tabletop Impulse.
Oh,
hello.
Hey.
Another. Keeping up the British vanguard over here. As so far, it's all been Americans. We also have Ace diving in from Spain there. Hello, Ace. Good to see you again. We also have... I don't know how this is going to go. If you can't tell, I don't know what I'm doing here.
It's going to be a beautiful disaster.
Sticking with America, we have Janice. Hello, Janice. How's it going?
Hello, everyone. It's going well here.
Excellent. Awesome. Good to have you. And then finally, oh, no, it's not finally. Sorry. We also have... Phil from Manning the Fort. Hello, how's it going?
Great. How are you guys?
Doing lovely, very silky smooth voice there. And finally, to round off the people that are sat in this call, I don't know how many of these I can put on screen, by the way. We'll just find out. We also have Russ. Hello, Russ. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man? And everyone.
I'm out. Russ is here. I'm
Excellent.
Well,
now, the screen seems to have
too much.
filled out, so I assume that 9 people's the max. I didn't really do great on introductions there, I'm going to be honest. And I don't know what format this is now going to take. So how about, is this laid out the same for everybody? So I'm at the top left, then Steve, then tabletop. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Brady Bunch layout.
Guess what we should do in that case is some sort of argument. Into the Dark. Should we adopt it or should we not? Is it good? Is it better? You tell me. Because I assume that you have all now watched the game, right?
I've watched approximately 6 hours of your content class, so yeah, I feel fully prepared.
Excellent. Good. Excellent.
The marathon glass half dead stream.
It was a marathon to produce. So yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay, so all right. I guess we have to figure something out here, don't we? Hi. I don't know how to do any of this.
Oh, sir. There it is.
Emmanuel, come to the save. Go for it.
We stubbed our toes with Arena last edition, 100%. It was not picked up as rapidly as it should have. And I think, and Chris and I talk a lot about this in our podcast that's actually coming out. Is it today Sunday? I'm on paternity leave right now, so days don't matter. Yes. So tomorrow AM, our podcast comes out. And we talk a lot about this. Arena found its heyday in quarantine TTS eras, and that's when the community was like, "Oh my goodness, this is great!" Simplified line of sight, simplified mission structure to allow less variability and more player skill to kind of be translated over. It was a great format that we realized too late, and I think the developers did a great job learning a lot of the lessons from Arena and improving on it a lot. Because one big thing, and this is actually something I'm going to challenge you on, Glass, is that Melee got way more out of Arena than shooty teams did from last edition, which this edition with Into the Dark, having On Guard being as great as it is, works really well in Into the Dark. I don't think it should be used on open tables. I really don't think so. That's a challenge to you, because I heard in your video and right before I popped in that you think that's an interesting idea, and I'm willing to try it. I just worry that shooty wide horde teams already do really well on open. Giving them On Guard, they're just like, my orcs are not going to be happy about that. But yeah, that's my TLDR and my hype for Into the Dark. I think we should really rush for it and really enjoy it.
Okay.
Should we raise our hand or just shout out? What's the
I don't know. Just talk. I don't know.
I think it kind of reminds me of with Arena, how we had Point Blank Overwatch last edition, and kind of like what Emmanuel was saying, a few people started bringing that into open boards, and I didn't think it translated very well. I do kind of agree that keeping the format separate also gives them their strengths and their uniquenesses. I don't know. I think that running things, at least for now, like right as they are out of the book, for open versus Into the Dark, I would definitely agree. Makes the most sense.
That's fair. Steve, somebody just asked in chat, what is on the guard? What is on guard? It's actually just guard, not on guard. Do you want to break that down for me?
Oh, you're quizzing me now.
It's a quiz. It's a quiz. Everybody. Yeah,
quiz.
That's what this is. It's a quiz.
Oh dear.
I haven't sat down and read everything.
You can say pass. I can
pass.
something else.
I've been dealing with 2 kids with COVID, but it's effectively, you can take shots at somebody as they're charging you, I believe, or you can fight first if they charge you.
Okay. Ace, do you think you could provide a more complete answer to that?
You're muted, Ace.
He is muted. Yeah.
Lower your mic.
His mic's by his ear too.
Well, Ace is going to work on some technical issues. Tabletop thoughts. Any thoughts?
Hello.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Necromunda? You know how you can go in Overwatch and Necromunda? It's basically that. You decide, I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to stand here and wait to see if somebody comes out from around a corner, and then I'm going to shoot them. But it's not just that. That's what we thought it was, right, when we saw all the previews. But also, if you get charged and you're set to defend, you get to fight first or shoot people in the face. It's a lot.
It is a lot. That is a fair way to point it. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. To be clear, I wasn't saying this is obviously how we should do it. I just think it's a really cool mechanic. And it's how I always wanted Overwatch to work because I like XCOM. Yeah.
It does feel like that kind of Overwatch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can you? I assume it's just. Forgive me. I've not watched everything yet, so I'm not. I knew that you got the guard and you got the fight first.
Rush from the
I know. I deserve it. But can you? Do you have to have? Can you shoot and then perform the guard action? Is it just it doesn't matter? You can still shoot, move, and then guard? Because
So it counts as a shoot action. So
counts
if
as a
you have a
shoot.
way to shoot twice, then
Bolt or
you
discipline,
can
yeah.
shoot
Bolt the
guard.
discipline.
But yeah.
Intercessor, shooty intercessors. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
that's why I
there
was wondering.
are-
But that's great.
There are a
Oh,
few
and-
questions that come up with that. For example, the old bolter discipline was you have to shoot a bolt weapon twice. And does guard count as that? You will be shooting a bolt weapon, but technically you're not, and who knows? So
Also-
a couple of questions we're going to need to have answered there.
From what it seems like the Overwatch action you can do with it doesn't have to be directed necessarily at the model that moved to initiate it. Is that correct?
No, so you can just make an Overwatch, like just a regular Overwatch. Yeah.
So like one guy moves and then your guy can shoot some
No.
other guy.
No,
No, it has to be the you have to shoot at the model that is just activated.
you are interrupting the model active, so you cannot.
Yeah. It's an interrupt, not just an additional Overwatch step.
It's like the TT from the Phobos Marines. That's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Or to really out myself as a tabletop boomer, it's a second edition 40K Overwatch.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
I thought
5 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
No, nobody does. Nobody does. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. So, guard not being on the board on the open boards, maybe not. Either way, fun homebrew rules. Just like in the White Dwarf, we had lots and lots of terrain rules. I'm never going to use them, but great that we've got them. Great that some people can use them. Yeah.
One thing that's pretty interesting about On Guard is that, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you could, if you have 3 APL, you could move and dash and On Guard with a heavy weapon, and then actually get 9 inches of movement and shoot at a -1 ballistic with a heavy weapon, because heavy weapon says that you cannot
that sounds right.
do anything during that activation, but Overwatch happens outside of your activation. So that these are like the weird things that start to turn my head when I see things like out of these out of sequence things. Like, how can you kind of flex around this stuff? Unwieldy, you can't though, because I think unwieldy, like the Arquebus and I don't know what else.
Drakari
would be unwieldy.
weapons.
Like a dark lance or something.
Yeah, the dark.
Dark
Yeah.
Lance.
Unwieldy specifically, you cannot Overwatch with, but
Right, sure.
heavy
I
you
am
can.
not-
So
I am not sure about that, Emmanuel, because
Yeah,
you have to make a shot, which you cannot if you are heavy.
I was going to say it's a
You
shoot
are,
action.
there it
you are
is.
shooting action,
There it is.
so
You're right.
Oh,
I don't think you
Yeah.
can.
Ah! It was so cool.
So
so
close.
cool. So close. So close. Thanks for that, Ace.
You play orcs.
Okay.
You don't have any heavy weapons.
No, nothing's heavy when you have a mountain of muscle to pick up everything.
To be fair, Emmanuel has every team, but they're orcs.
Truth.
I mean, when you play orcs, do you even need to actually know the rules? I assume you just
Just
whatever
make them up
happens
as you
happens, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just believe that the rules that you know are right.
Interesting. Somebody just said in the chat that apparently the next White Dwarf has been announced and it has a new kill team.
Well,
Or
we don't
just
know.
no, it says articles on kill team. Okay, I think I was misled by chat a little bit there. Okay, no need to have a live reaction. Don't worry. We're okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. We have had one more person join in. Okay, that wasn't too bad a rearrangement. This is Ryan. He is also going to get a very quick introduction. He is a good local player in London. There you go.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Right, I have no idea what to do now. To be honest with you, guys, what are we doing? Just throw out an idea. I did not think this through.
It's time for Legions of Russ, isn't it?
My God, no! It won't go well at all. Yeah.
I mean, the burning question would be, Sheldon, are we going to cram this on arena boards? That's going to be the question.
Yeah.
I am. I don't know about all
The
y'all.
Pariah Nexus boards.
Yeah.
I have 50 arena boards, so I will definitely be cramming it onto arena boards. There's no question about that.
I mean, it should work. There's no reason it shouldn't work, right?
Well, the measurements would be different, but as long as you just say, oh, that looks like those two are roughly in this place, I think you could pretty much. Because because it's a different board size, so you have to just translate the objectives a little bit.
Yeah, the board side is just a little skewed.
Yeah, I don't think there's a need, like, it's obviously a different game you'd be playing. Like, you'd have to rearrange the objectives because it's different map layouts, but yeah, why not? That
I mean, they
sounds
already
like a great alternative.
Some of the arena boards I've been looking at look almost kind of like the new Into the Dark layout, so they would be super easy to translate, I think.
Yeah. And then I guess, I'm not sure, but aren't there actually more doors in Arena? I mean, not that that's as much of an issue because you just run through them now, but yeah.
But then you don't get to use the cool walls that come in the box.
You
That's
don't,
what I'm
no,
most
that is
excited
true.
for.
Yeah.
I've never
This
been
terrain
so
does look
excited
pretty
about
nice.
walls.
Yeah, to be fair, we're on kind of full bore kill team open mode right now. We just started planning a couple weeks ago. Just trying to figure out where we're going, but how do you try to scale that up to 50 boards, when this game is releasing next week?
50 boxes.
Are you guys going to be running two different Into the Dark and normal?
We're still trying to figure that out. Yeah,
Okay.
we're waiting to see how this does. I mean, this could be hot garbage, despite everybody's
That is
hype around it.
I don't think so.
Hot take, I don't think so. I think it's going to be fantastic, honestly.
I mean, we have to find out. We have to test, and we have to see what resources. Yeah, we have to see what resources we can put together because trying to scale up to a major kill team event is no small feat.
It's mostly about what the kill team community is kind of falls on, because if it seems like everybody wants to play Into the Dark, but they're not okay with playing on arena boards, that makes it harder for us because that's what we've got a lot of access to. Easy access to arena boards would be our way of kind of incorporating Into the Dark on such a large scale. But if people are still playing it open boards, then it makes the decision a little easier for us, at least.
Ace, I know that I believe you've already talked about these things among the Spanish community, and you've decided what you're doing already. Is that right?
Well, more or less. I think most of the community are going into the dark, and the little communities are trying. If they cannot get all the boards from the Into the Dark, they are going to at least try mixed environments.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's the way to go. If
so
you
you
are not
do
able
like 50-50 tables.
Well,
so like table 1 would be open Octarius, table 2 would be Into the Dark, and then you rotate around every board.
Well, the interesting thing is like right now we only have one box of the new ITC content, so a lot of communities are going to struggle to get big tournaments. But if the year keep passing and we get more boxes and more boxes, I think all the communities are going to be able to get Into the Dark terrain. So I think we are going to be, by January or February, we are all going to be fine. I think
it'll be interesting to see what the next boxes show us for terrain, because is it going to be, because I mean the cool thing about a Space Hulk is that it's a mishmash of all these different technologies, right? So is each box going to be a different kind of technology but compatible with all the same missions?
I think.
Or are they going to be different sections, because all the doors they're coded in different ways, or the walls are coded in different ways? So are they not going to be compatible? That'll be really telling. So if each box is just a different theme, but it's all the same mission, like you can apply the next box to the same missions from this time, that'll be really cool for two reasons. Number one, it'll make everyone who keeps buying every single box, like me, have way more terrain than they need. So that way, whichever ones I don't like, I just donate to my LGS or donate to my local TO to make doing tournaments easier. Or it just means that a lot more people will be able to bring that stuff to tournaments to help out the TOs.
Yeah,
I think for like, oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I think for LGSs and like smaller tournaments, I remember back with the arena days, everyone would bring their own box, and I think that's still something that people can do for Into the Dark. If you have like a smaller tournament, if at least half the players bring a box of terrain, then everybody can play, and so it'll definitely be approachable for smaller tournaments, that sort of thing, to be able to do that sort of.
Yeah.
You've got to imagine
Yeah.
that the future boxes. You've got the 2 frames of narrative terrain that can totally change. You've got to imagine that for future boxes, the wall sections are going to be exactly the same wall sections. Just now, it's a Necron wall, but it's going to have the same size, dimensions, and otherwise, you're getting a new match play mission pack every quarter, which seems odd.
Unlikely.
That's a really good point. That's a really
Fair
good point.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to give us wavy walls. Everything has to fit on that grid, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we'd also need new line of sight rules to define how the grid works. So
I think that's the petition.
yeah.
We want wavy walls. And that would be so cool. Like the chaos kind of. I mean, it'd be horrible to play on, but it would be interesting.
Please don't do that.
Not with the new rules. It's fine.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, they could do stuff with walls that fit on the same grid, but they could have holes in the walls or like a breach point, like some damaged portions. So on missions, if that wall is there, then you can actually see through it, or my breacher boy can go through it. That's actually a helpful PSA to say to a lot of people, because I've been seeing a lot.
I
of
should have said that at the
Discords.
start. Yeah.
Do you want to launch off on that, the whole wall breaching thing?
I guess that makes sense to talk about, doesn't it? So they decided to release a box set all about walls, and they gave us a model in there that can walk through walls, but then they gave us rules that said no, not these walls. So I don't like. So in fact, I recorded all of my videos a week or 2 ago, and now I know that that's not how it works. But you're about to get some videos that say yes, they can do this. So that's going to be real confusing messaging for everybody. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I totally get it from a gameplay balance perspective. But thematically, looks very counterintuitive. You know.
I mean, you don't want my breacher boy with dynamite in your DZ. You don't want that.
I don't. No, that is true.
Reminds me of the last edition where, like, the Necron models could teleport, and everybody would thought that they should be able to teleport through walls. And
even though it clearly says no, you cannot ever measure through a wall. We were like, right, but what in this scenario? No.
I don't know. It feels really strange for me not being able to breach walls and being able to forward deploy. So I don't know.
Yeah, so,
I think mechanically it's way broken, the forward deploy than the breach a boy or the Navy's thing or the Genestealer cult. So I don't know. I think that's one of the worst thing of the new ITD. And we can talk about the remove of the TAC ops if you want, which is really bad too, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So unless, in case people aren't aware, 4 TAC ops have been removed. I think it's 2 from secure. Does anybody know what they are? Ace, I assume you know what they are off the top of your head.
Seize ground.
Yeah,
Vantage, I'm guessing.
Basically, if it requires heavy terrain or a vantage point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's super clumsy.
And
at that
so
point, you
then
might as well just
what
get rid
you
of archetypes.
Yeah, and then what you do to make sure that you still have a 6-card deck is you put in any TAC ops that come from either your other archetypes or, because that's the secondary backup, your faction TAC ops. So you could end up with a deck with 2 of your faction TAC ops in.
I think you're supposed to fill out with faction TAC ops first.
Yes.
If you have them.
That was what I had meant when I phrased it, but apparently I phrased it poorly. Yes. The reason I said that is if you're playing Compendium, then you don't have faction TAC ops, so you would go to the other archetypes.
Stealth buff to Compendium?
Exactly.
Or in the very rare situation where you're a single archetype team and don't have faction TAC ops, you can take from anyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are there any of those in Compendium?
I didn't bother to look.
I didn't.
But there is one mission where veteran guardsmen cannot have 6 TAC ops because you have to. There is no points on that mission, so you have to remove protect assets, and your TAC ops number 2, I think, is I don't know the name of the Vedgar. So you end with 5 TAC ops at all, and you are security, so you cannot pick from anything else. So you have to pick from recon, I guess. Right. It's crazy. In my opinion, it's like they need to give us something about these TAC ops as soon as possible.
They should have just given us new TAC ops. I mean, that would have been an easy fix.
or replacing TAC Ops. I mean, if you are playing Vantage, then from the ITC, Vantage works like this. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it would be equally weird if they gave us like Into the Dark TAC Ops and Octarius TAC Ops, because then then we play a mixed tournament. It's like, okay, which you have to pick a TAC Op deck, and then your archetype within, and it's like, oh my god. Suddenly we've become, whereas in 40k everybody has to turn up with 6 books, we have to turn up with 6 decks of cards and build
Not
it there.
entirely unreasonable.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh
Arena
tournament
gave
now.
us secondaries.
Yeah, we all just want to play Magic the Gathering, really.
Well,
And I'll just
here's-
be over here as a filthy casual playing the narrative campaign. So
Well, hey, I think the narrative players got a huge win from.
you mentioned that, and it got me
Yeah,
really
like-
excited. So
Yeah.
like there's loads in there for you, I would say. Yeah.
Does anyone have the book in front of them real quick or easy access? Glass, do you have it? Because one thing that just
yeah, I
crossed my mind, the weird wheels are spinning still, and I'm starting to think, can the hatch guy, whatever his name is it only work on hatchways, or can he seal doors on open terrain?
I have no idea.
I think it's only hatchways.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think
but
it's only hatchways.
Yeah.
God, that would be cool if it worked on doors too. Now, hatchways. Can we extrapolate that the hatches on the Octarius terrain?
No. Don't do that. No.
Because those are doors, not hatches.
Those
That's
are
I'm
why
just
they-
being.
yeah.
I'm just.
How to rule it?
I worry that
Yeah.
Ace is taking me way too seriously.
Yeah.
I'm being completely facetious about that. But I was wondering about how the wording worked, and I was
No,
pretty
it's
sure it was
specifically
hatchways.
hatchway. Yeah.
Yep.
And it interacts with the open hatchway
Mm-hmm.
action. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing to talk about with those narrative missions, there's a reason why they're so low scoring. I remember in your video, Glass, you were kind of pointing out it's like you can only get like 6 VPs on this. That's the same as what you could do. And the reason for that is in the narrative format of the game, you're oftentimes taking suboptimal secondaries because you're trying to fill out your spec op. And there's a spec op with some rare equipment or some sort of bonus that you really want to, but you have to take the secondary that is terrible for your team. So oftentimes the narrative missions will be low scoring because your secondaries will be low scoring as well.
Right. Okay. That sounds like somebody that's actually played the narrative missions. So
I think more
I'm
narrative
a bit
than
lost at this
tournament
point,
prep,
but okay,
honestly.
Sure. No, actually, that is the final video that I have yet to record because I have to go and sit down and actually just read through how to play the narrative because I've never done it. I don't know how to do it.
I'm going to sell you on narrative right now.
You don't have to. I already am sold on it. I just haven't
Well,
gone around to it.
I'm going to
Sell it
sell
to me
anyone. Yeah. So a lot of tournament players kind of poo-poo the narrative side. They're playing tournament games, tournament packets, all that kind of stuff. But tournament players, something that a lot of us share is the kind of min-maxy kind of optimal build, optimal form kind of play style, right? That's what I get from narrative because the whole point of narrative to me is to min-max my narrative team to get the most insane, stupid benefits on my guys to the point that they're absolutely ludicrous on the table. So that min-maxing mentality, that is just so beautiful inside the narrative side. So if you look at your team and you're like, okay, what kind of nonsense can I do with these special abilities, with these battle honors, with my rare equipment? Like I have lethal 5-up on a boss knob with a big chopper. That's not okay. Absolutely not okay, but it is so much fun to play with. So the min-maxy aspect of narrative is the part that doesn't get talked about too much because people assume it's like, oh, it's people who like the lore and they like to tell a story. Yes, absolutely. But if you're a min-maxy kind of player, you're going to find a lot of fun in there too.
Yeah, having run a bunch of narrative events in the new edition, I have to say, like, there's some like, wombo combo kind of things that you can get in narrative that really scratch that itch of like, making a cool list or the list building aspect that I think a lot of like competitive players enjoy. So definitely, I would second that narrative is fun.
I think that's one of the big. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, you go for it.
No, I think that's one of the big differences in the States. You guys have got narrative events. I don't think I've ever seen in the UK anything like a narrative event. I think a lot of people fall into competitive play. Obviously, you've got the really good players that want to win, but about half the people at every event, myself included, are just there because otherwise I've got one guy that I play games against. So I go to an event to play games,
Sure.
and it's competitive because that's what the organised play is. If there was organised narrative, such as you're describing, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I did a poll with my game store before I did my most recent event, and narrative won by a long margin. And so that was, at the larger events, I had run narrative in addition to the competitive events, and so, it just, it's been a lot of fun. I think I've really grown to enjoy narrative, having run these events and seeing sort of like the cool stuff that players can do with their teams, and like the ongoing building of like their equipment and that sort of stuff, and like the story that they carry on from game to game is really cool.
Ryan, how do you think that would work in London? Because of course we have like a large competitive scene.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know if there's enough players to do it in a big tournament setting. I know there are some like narrative players in London, but I've never seen it in scale. But I guess it could work. I don't think I would be traveling for it myself, but
well, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah,
fair enough.
Bye everyone. Play
would.
more Kill Team.
Bye. See you, Manuel. Have a good
Bye,
one.
Manuel.
Bye.
Bye, Manuel.
The audio's looping through somebody.
Yes, it is. I don't know how to find out who that is. So there you go.
Well, I muted myself, and it wasn't me. So
yes, I can't tell who that
I
is.
just muted me, so it wasn't me, I guess.
I just muted me as well, so I don't think it's me either.
I've got no clue.
Not me.
Oh, I think
either.
it's Steve, maybe. Never mind. Let's just keep talking.
I've been on mute.
Is it me?
It's fine.
Like, what's
Oh,
going on? I
Glass.
don't know.
Are you listening to yourself, Glass?
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to listen to myself so much when I edit that I don't even care anymore. It's terrifying. Though.
Just blur it out.
All right, I'm gonna do this one by one. Okay, could we still hear people talking?
Nope.
No, it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's there.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It's not
Well, this is a really good, fun bit of content, isn't it? This is just
Musical
whatever-
chairs. That's
we should start singing, and then we'll have.
Yeah. It's like, well, this is. We
Legions
should probably
of
still
Red.
be talking about something else as well, though.
I'm getting like flashbacks of COVID right now, where everyone's trying to get a Zoom call to work.
Yeah,
for 6 hours.
who's echoing
and
the
they
Zoom
really cool about that, didn't it? Yeah.
just give up in the end.
Did it go?
Is it gone?
I mean, no,
No,
it's back
it's-
now. But did it go when Ace went?
I think there's a slight
No,
delay.
it's still, oh my God, what's going on?
No, I mute.
This
so
is fun stuff, isn't it? What are we doing?
that's yeah.
No, it's still here.
Who's next?
Okay, I just want to figure out who this is so that I can scold them on live TV and then go.
Public shaming.
Oh my gosh, has anybody not muted themselves to check this? Is it me? Because I haven't muted myself.
It's still going.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go.
I think it might be restreamed for whatever reason.
It's possible, I guess.
Public shaming.
Well, that's just.
Can we just isolate that, Russ? Public
Public
shaming.
shaming.
Yeah.
Public shaming.
Public shame. Public shame. Public shame. Is it gone?
Oh, it
Did
might
I
be
get
gone.
it?
Yep.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Is it big? Okay.
I think it's a manual. He left.
Yeah. When I kicked him,
Gone.
it left.
It's just carried on with his audio.
It's
Curse to the
Cursed
manual.
as he left.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
No,
techno
it's-
curse that he left on the.
Yeah.
Is that a segue into talking about Galloppops? I don't know.
I guess we're just gonna.
Does
keep on
anyone
going
have
with
the
it.
stream open in another tab, like on a YouTube tab somewhere else that might be looping back through your own audio somehow?
Weirdly,
I don't.
Probably
No.
glass. Probably glass.
It could be me, but I don't have my own stream open. So unless it's playing back, this is the worst content I've ever done. I don't want to fix technical issues.
Quick, let's read a book.
Everyone talks constantly. No one will be able to hear the background noise. So
that's what I'm
thinking.
Topic. So okay,
filibuster, just go for it.
No
What's
more.
that song that gets better the more that it loops?
We're gonna bring somebody else in. It's Battle Brothers Tabletop. The guy that always says how much he hates Kill Team. Hi, how's it going?
And he hates talking about it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate all of you, but I'm here anyways. Yep.
Excellent. He came here just in time to, jump in on this technical issue podcast.
Yeah, it's definitely Russ.
I know he's just
by the way.
arrived, but I think it's
loop
Ben.
is definitely Russ. No, it's definitely
The thing
Russ.
is, I can
Ben.
mute everybody. So I could just mute but there's like a 20-minute delay, it seems. So 20-minute delay, 20-second delay.
You know what? Let's blame Reese. Reese isn't here. Let's blame him.
Yeah,
Three
Reese.
Moon. That's an Australian.
The Australians.
Yeah, that's an Australian thing.
You can't
Happens to us on the pod all the time, actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shotgun.
Anyway, moving on. I should have thought about more things. Yeah, so Into the Dark. That's what we're talking about here. Let's talk about the actual teams though. Which of the 4 teams that have just released do you think is best? You guys talk. I'm going to randomly mute us to find out who. Okay.
I need to step away for about 5 minutes, so I'll be back.
Okay, yeah. Have a good one, Janice. We'll see you soon.
See you, Dennis.
Bye.
Bye.
No, wait. Okay. Did somebody else say me too? No. Okay. 4 teams. They all enter the dome. Into the dome.
It's
Who
the
wins?
Thunderdome,
Who wins?
where there are no rules.
I think Gellerpox are the strongest, but
Oh my god, yeah.
the one I'm most excited about is Star Striders, but I don't think they're the strongest by any means of the imagination. I just think they'll be fun.
Yeah, it's between Star Striders and Navy for me, just from an excitement standpoint. Again, filthy casual, so I don't care how good they
I want the Star Striders to be awesome because I'm finally painting them after buying them in 2018, right? So I want them to be amazing, but I don't know that they will be.
Yeah, they just seem like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say they seem just like they'll be easy to. I mean, they have a ploy to uninjure themselves with that 4 wounds, but you're just gonna kill them, right? How many times are they gonna be injured? You're just gonna kill them.
Well, you have a medic.
Yeah, it's like
that is
Necron.
true. Yeah.
If you just kill them outright, then they don't get
They can also take half damage from 1 hit each time if you're in range objective marker, that's pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
Just
Yeah,
for
it's
1
nice.
dice.
Just the 1 dice, yeah, just the 1 dice. But that could be like a plasma shot, that could be a bolt gun. So your bolters suddenly go from reliably potentially killing it to actually getting 8 wounds through or 7 wounds through is kind of difficult. So
I do think from the competitive experience.
Sorry, Phil, man in the fort. It's your audio.
Oh, dirty Phil!
There you go.
Oh my god!
We've got onto the bottom of it. If I mute
This is
your
the shaming.
source, it
Not
stops.
Phil.
shame.
So
Shame.
I hit mute on you.
actually
for a bit. You figure out what's happening. And then
When's the
we'll,
parade when we get the whips out?
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Carry on. Because it's gone now, right? We can't hear the background?
No.
That's because he's muted, so there you go. Okay, boom. I'm going to let Phil have a think about that. Just consider himself.
My real name is also Phil, so when he said that, I momentarily because I'm a computer science teacher as well, so this would be very, very bad, very bad.
Oof.
Sure. Okay, so sorry, I jumped in there. Ace, I think you were in the middle of something there.
Yeah, sorry. I think competitively speaking, I think the 4 of them are really, really, really fun to play, and they really get the essence of the teams. But in a competitive experience, I think there are 2 winners and 2 losers, in my opinion, of course, with 3 games in, which is nothing. I think Gellerpox and Navy are going to be pretty good, especially in Into the Dark. And the Star Striders have something going on, but are going to be really tricky to play. And Crude needs something else, I think. That's my hot take without little experience.
That's the coldest hot take I've ever heard. I think everybody agrees. Is anybody going to disagree with the number one player in the world?
Got the other pockets
I don't know.
locked and loaded,
Okay,
baby.
all
Ready
right.
to go.
Let's talk about Crute, because when I'm doing my little videos, I like to make things seem good. And I do think that so at first I felt they just looked like a simpler team to play, and therefore they're probably stronger than the Breachers, right? They look really quite bad though. And I'm trying to see.
Oh, so you lied to us.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No,
What a
no,
This is
definitely.
premium content.
Yeah.
You get the
I
real
can't
answers here.
believe
That's
this, yeah.
right.
I mean, I feel like that's an eternal truth of Kill Team. Crute suck.
It does seem that way.
Warhammer in
Crew
general.
talks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when they get their own bespoke team, it's just they
It's
can't.
not good.
Even when
Yeah.
they're good, they're still bad.
Because it's like
Where's the
with
crew
the
dogs?
Breachers, I can look at them and say those seem complicated. I can tell they're meant to do a thing. But with the Crute, it's like, well, there's no complication here. They're simple. So to be good, to be positive, it's like, well, they must have been well tuned then. They must be good, right?
Funny enough,
like,
I
that's
think
what I assume.
I think Crute will actually be better on open boards than in dark boards.
I mean,
for
they
sure,
did
yeah.
bring a sniper inside.
To the
Like,
space
you
hole.
got to feel
Yeah.
like that's not the tactics aren't there. Well, let's get a sniper in this place because we've got
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
that's-
Oh, hang on a
that's
sec.
what we need.
No, we're in a corridor. Give it your best shot.
Yeah.
I brought my
look at that
bow.
bird flying around.
Yeah, let's bring a sniper and a bird. That'll
Yeah.
do. Yeah, great. Good stuff.
Just a bird hovering, just right
Yeah.
next to the ceiling. It's like
Bumping the
fantastic.
ceiling. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
fantastic.
I'm excited to play him against
Genau.
my Corsairs so we can have bird fight.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Bird on bird
Ultimate
action.
Pokemon battle. That's what you want.
Yeah. Okay, so Crute suck. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you need some like team with a low cognitive load to really attract players just kind of getting into things. I mean,
Sure.
you want people to have some level of success when they're coming in. So if you have a couple of fresh players, one's throwing down, the Navy, one's throwing down the Crute player's likely to eke out a W, and it gives them a little bit of confidence. But give the Navy player a couple of weeks, and they're just going to stomp all over their Crute friend.
Yeah, I mean, I would submit that the
Yes.
Intercession Squad is the ultimate low cognitive load team, though.
Yeah.
But they're also
Exactly that.
good. And so
Yeah,
kind
and they're
of-
good.
Except they're good. Yeah. I guess that's
So,
the
yeah.
difference. They're good.
So you can make something easy and good. So that's not an excuse for the poor Crute Kimban, I think.
Yeah,
Now
it's
watch
rough.
Fruit start just taking all the podiums.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
Yeah,
right? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm
happen.
actually
I'm
curious to
rooting for
know
them.
if Crute can dethrone the the worst kill team of the bespoke teams, so they can go from being the worst compendium team to being the worst bespoke team. That would be
I
quite
actually-
interesting.
I
Yeah.
actually don't think the bloody are bad. But then again, I play against Chris Baki, who just destroys me with everything that he plays. He's
I
decided
think the
to play
Blooded
nothing
are going to
for
do
you.
better in ITD, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, I agree.
Which is great. But they do seem to be the worst team so far, right? I think that's pretty unanimous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Along
mean
with-
they were DOA. They were dead on arrival.
Oh, especially as soon as they land, they get the grenade nerf as well,
Yeah,
which was
grenades
like
are the
their
only thing
only
keeping
saving
them-
grace.
Alive, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if they'd be. I don't know. I don't know if the Crute will be worse than them.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can
be
tell
interesting to
because
see.
one of the best tactics of the Blooded, which is being in 6 inches of the deployment zone to be blooded, to have a token, is going to be really hard on the Space Hulk. So, yeah, good luck, Blooded.
For sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can talk about that. That's a good end of the dark segue into like ranges and how that'll
Yep.
affect things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Go
That's
for it.
really-
Now you can't range find through walls. So stuff like I don't know, just off the top of my head, I think about like guardsman orders from Compendium. What else? What else has a range?
Bone Death from Pathfinders.
Yeah.
Well, every like the medic, everything in there's a lot of things
Medic.
with inches. So good luck. All the skills of the Lucidian, for example, has inches in there. So yeah, a lot of things. A lot.
Yeah,
of things.
Star Striders have Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes. So Jesse there says, do you guys think that Into the Dark is well designed for competitive play, or does it seem flawed design-wise? What do you think about that?
We'll find out.
All right, Russ, let's take a hike.
Far too in depth. I have no idea. I guess we need a playtest, like what the Steven Kill Team streamer saying. Obviously, they're going to do the whether or not it gets taken up. We'll see after we've all had a whole load of games if it's going to be a system that's going to be sticking around, unlike Arena, or if it's that might be the way we're going to have to find out. Really.
Sure.
I mean, I would venture to say everything is competitive because it adds a new challenge to a competitive player. Is our competitive players going to play it? That's probably the better question.
Yeah. If they play it and then they put their questions up and we get an FAQ that resolves any issues that might have been stopping it being a quote unquote competitive style game, I guess that's how it'll get rid of those foibles that it's come out with if it is a design launch or anything, a fail in design.
Yeah, and one of the things we'll need to determine is we need to look at, because I mean, obviously, Ace and your guys are going to be playing it a ton in Spain. We're going to be playing it a ton over here. I'm sure the London scene is going to be taking it up to test it and to see how well kind of the older bespoke, I hate that word, and compendium teams port over into this new system. Because how do you test 20-something teams? You don't. You try to get some basic mechanics down. And it could be something just shows up broken, like custodes on launch, and it just completely defeats the game. So then that's something we have to pay really close attention to, especially when putting on major events. FLGS stuff, like you can do whatever you want. That's kind of the little sandbox where you test things out. But when you come to like a major, big events in Spain, big events here, we have to do right by the community and not have something where everybody's just going to bring the new custodes and fight each other.
Yeah. Well, we were in a world where Pathfinder exists with the Worthy Cause, and we were playing that game, and we were fine. And we were playing with Custodes either. So I don't think there is a team from the old not compendium teams that are going to break the game. Maybe there is a mechanic, as I have been referring to this, but the forward deploy in some missions really feels like it breaks the game. So commandos, Hunter Glade, especially commandos, because they can charge on conceal, can be really, really strong. Maybe not at that point too strong to be broken, but something to watch about, I think.
Obviously, compendium Chaos Space Marines are going to be the new hotness with that forward deployed cultist.
Yeah, sure. No. But yeah.
Just to quickly answer the question that came up here, how will ITD affect the old kill team? It won't. Yeah. I just wanted to get that out there. So obviously, because it kind of dropped at the same time as Warcry dropped, which was technically like the next edition, even though it had no rules changes. It's just good to point out to people maybe that nothing's changed here. There's no core rules changes. It's just same again.
You've actually got the stuff. What's the core rulebook? Is it exactly the same? Like they didn't even.
Oh yeah, no, it's identical. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to say too much. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It does. Yeah. So. I mean, that's what I'd expected. I would have been genuinely surprised if they had updated the core book. And honestly, the core book needed more than just some typos fixed.
But hey, at least they fixed the Deadly Marksman card.
That's true. Finally. Yeah. That's the only thing they've changed from the core rules, for sure.
Where's the whole box?
And Janice has returned.
Hello again.
Hello. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So, moving on to the next team, or if we could do a quick vote of by hands, perhaps, because that'll definitely work well. We're going to go with favorite team. Could I get hands up for Star Striders? 3 Galapox. Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
Surprising.
Surprising, yeah.
Crew.
No stinky boy love.
Just okay. And breaches. Well, logically, the rest of them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised breaches. Okay.
Humans. There's a reason why human teams sell so well. Everybody's sick of them, but they just sell.
Normal
And the
humans.
aesthetic is super cool on the breachers.
Oh
it
my
was
gosh,
close
dude,
between
so
Star
dope.
Striders and breachers for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, they're gonna make great Vostroyans for me.
You avoid
Get those
strikes.
mustaches on them.
Yeah, dude, big old fat mustaches. That's my brand, baby. I don't have one, but I can live vicariously through my miniatures. Yeah.
I want to put one of those big Navy diving helmets on them. Those old school Bioshock.
Oh, that would be
Bioshock,
really cool.
yep.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked by this this poll, which is very clearly very representative. To be honest with you,
We are the problem. Yes.
Yeah,
we are the
yeah.
problem.
Because this is our 4th normal human team. Don't you guys have enough?
Nope.
Can't you let these Xenos have something? I mean, come on, like.
Bring me Katachan.
Kids, nah. Necrons, nah. Who needs them?
I mean, I love my Corsairs. They're one of my favorite teams.
Yeah. But elves are super cool, actually, so that's fair. I just
Give
started
me
watching
Chitauri.
Rings of Power,
Yeah.
and I'm
So,
Just a shame.
super
Let's
into
not
elves,
do
but-
that. Let's not go there, boys.
I will drop every
Goodbye.
other team as soon as Necrons get a bespoke team, though. I'm just warning y'all.
Obviously.
Your 45,000 points of Necron are waiting.
And you get to
Give me
take
that
what,
one
80
more.
points? Yeah.
I'm waiting for Votan.
Photo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with them because, of course, we've just had the big leaks.
Yeah.
So we know that there isn't like a team in there that could just be the kill team, like Corsairs
Right.
went into the Craft World. So,
Hearthkin Warriors look like a kill team to me.
oh no, sure,
Perfect kill team. Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
White
but
Dwarf,
they are
right?
just the regular troops, you know.
Add a berserker in there, and you got a team.
Oh, I
Aren't-
suppose.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Aren't
I'll
all
live
the
in-
kill teams just
in-
the regular troops, though?
Sure, but they have additional bits and bobs. You know, they
Yeah.
have like an upgrade sprue. But yeah, you're right. They are just the regular.
The Hearthkin kind of seem like they have an upgrade screw built in, though. Like you have like a double knife guy, which is a staple. You have like
Yeah.
some guy
Yeah.
with like some weird tech. Feels like they almost have that kind of stuff built into their kit.
Yeah.
Which is super weird. I mean, would they have done that with the knowledge that, hey, we know from X point forwards, everything's going to become a kill team, so we have to build the expansion sprue into the regular sprue?
Well, we're living
I
in a
think-
brave new world
Do
where
that,
you
yeah.
just
We
get
are.
a PDF kill team randomly appear. And if I wanted to sell boxes of my squat launch box, if I put a PDF kill team up on Warcom, do I sell more boxes? I think
Yeah.
I do.
Think about it
that's a
like
great
this.
point.
True.
And-
That's
It
true.
takes 3 years to make a team from concept to like the miniature box coming out for Games Workshop, and are they gonna like take the risk of a whole brand new team also putting a box into Kill Team? No, they're just gonna give you rules and make one of the squads perfect for Kill Team. It just makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
and they can put it on a white dwarf and selling us the white dwarf, and then the next year selling us another annuary and keeps on going. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, man. How do you guys feel about the annual releasing? Because, you know, one of the common criticisms is people not happy that they're selling us. Oh, same for the Into the Dark. A lot of people are like, I don't want to buy the core book again. And it's like,
Well, sell it.
is anybody here gonna stand that side or?
You're talking to the wrong people. I
Yeah.
Not Into the Dark.
Good. I'm glad I am.
Yeah.
Mine
I'm,
like
I'm
that.
giving
I like
my new core book to a buddy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I probably will too.
Yeah.
I just
do
really
think
like it, so-
There's a
My,
slight wrinkle.
my children are getting of age, so it's just like, okay,
Yeah, there you go.
learn to play
Oh,
Oh,
Go
that's
Team.
cool.
Perfect.
Love that.
Perfect.
When they
Okay.
get to the second box in this season, do they reprint the competitive mission pack and the core rules for close quarters confines and the core Gallow Dark rules for the walls and doors? Do they reprint all that stuff in every book in the 4 boxes going forwards? Or do you
I
have
would
to go
think so.
back and buy the separate Into the Dark
Yeah.
book as a kind of second core book? It's a
Or-
little
or-
wrinkle.
or will
because
they
I'm gonna
do
buy
the
them
little
all,
one?
but-
Will they do the little miniature Yeah, this is like the tiny rule book. This is you guys should know what I'm talking about just by my hands.
Yeah.
But yeah. I thought it was clear. Yeah, but no, just the tiny manual. That's probably how they do it, right?
From the starter box, you got the demi manual.
Yeah.
If you want to call
International sign for tiny book. Yes. Come on.
yeah.
Okay. You need the opening thing like this. If this is charades, you know what I mean? You need a whoosh.
Well, that's a
tiny
thing.
book, so it's like this.
Yeah, that's a regional thing. In my region, it's just this.
That to me says like giant novel, but
see, it's a regional thing. Like I said, it's a regional thing.
Add sound effect into your movements.
Now, but Glass, your original question about the annual.
I forgot it.
I personally like having all the White Dwarf printed rules in one spot rather than oh, what issue was that in? And
was that one that you couldn't get in the US?
Yeah, it's,
yeah.
Because there's some even in my local game stores, we have 5 within 15 minutes of my house. None of them got many copies of I think it was the one with Harlequins in it, and it was a hot commodity for folks here to be able to have those rules.
Yeah, here we couldn't get the Hunterclade White Dwarf. I had to buy it on eBay for like 3 times the cost.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I'm completely the same. Like I'm really happy with the annual. To be clear, I always just use Wikipedia. Like if I ever need rules, I just go and use Wikipedia. But I do like to have them too. You know.
Well, I think everyone does.
And white dwarves I don't like having. I tend to throw them. I get them so that I can look at them for one time and then throw them away, which is obviously something that I need to think about myself. Like that's somebody that has an issue.
I think the annual's a great model
book.
if they keep doing free PDF teams instead of White Dwarf. I had a video kind of ranting about the whole White Dwarf thing, and I even name-checked you, Glass, and your story about subscribing 3 days too late to get the Hunterclade issue. And
that was frustrating.
I don't like that as a model. I do like the fact that they then compile them all, but it would be even better if they then gave those away for free in the first place, like with the Intercession Squad. Do I think that's going to happen? But yes, Wikipedia still exists.
They almost got me when they released the Hunterclade with White Dwarf, because if they had released a new team every White Dwarf, I would have subscribed. But then they waited three months, and I was like, well, I guess I don't need the whole subscription.
Right.
Well, no, it was the fact that we got 2 in a row. We got Hunterclade, then Warp Coven in the next issue. And that's when I thought we're all in. We were not all in.
Could you imagine how many teams that would be, though? Like, we have so many teams. It'd be...
We would have been at 18 teams now instead of 10 or whatever.
I have a question. How is your community taking all the new teams right now, right out of the bat? Because in Spain, there is people claiming like, we have 5 new teams. It is impossible to follow, and that kind of thing.
I mean, I can only talk to my Discord, which is obviously not really my community. Like it's my scene. It's just a general breadth of the audience. I think people are generally happy, but like I'm not a hardcore competitive Discord or anything. I think people are just hyped to get their team. You know, I'm not sure how many people are saying, "Oh, I've got 5 teams to play." They're saying, "Oh, my breaches have turned up. Sweet." You know, so
I honestly wouldn't be upset with any number of teams. Like more teams, the better. Give us Gaunt's Ghosts and Kill Team Cassius and Synoptech.
Last Chancers.
Yeah, like there's
more motorbikes and Kill Team. That's what we need. Motorbikes and jetpacks.
Yeah.
Just go play OPR, Russ.
Yeah, I think it's the freaks like us who are obsessed with getting every team. Or I'll talk just for myself. Like I have like a compulsion to have every. Yeah, I'm the freak. It's okay. To compile every team, even though I will never play many of them. Like I'll never play Phobos. I haven't played them once. I refuse to play them. Just not into them. But I want to have them in my arsenal so I can roll up to the game store and say, "What do you want to play, folks? Like what looks cool?" And so.
I understand the competitive scene not being like loving the fast release, because obviously to play competitively against a team, you kind of have to understand what that team is bringing to the game. And if they keep releasing, well, Again, I don't play competitively, but I know when I've played against teams that I don't know what they're bringing, I get beaten a lot easier. I still get beaten regardless, but it's either really easy or I put up some sort of a fight. So I can understand that it being a little bit more difficult if you are really into the competitive scene to make sure that you stay on top of all the new rules so that you can kind of see where your team combat them. But yeah,
I think
I
as well,
don't
it's
play
a
super
really
competitive.
fine balance between like the rules bloat of 40k, which everyone complains about, where there's too many stratagems and too many niche things you forget about, and actually having a simple game that you can play quite quickly. So the appeal for Kill Team for me is the fact that I can actually learn what all the teams do relatively quickly. But like if I went to 40k, like to learn all the teams in 40k is learning one team in 40k. Sorry, so like so Kill Team is much easier to get to grips with, much better to play competitive, in my opinion. But
Yeah, and
Also,
even with 5 teams dropping within a month, you're still within like 4 to 5 weeks. You should at least be aware of what someone might be bringing to the table. If you're going to a tournament and someone's bringing Gellerpox, you should at least have an idea at that point. Unlike with 40k, where it's like, well, I don't know what all the tricks are going to be.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of content, like the Glass or any other content that is out there just to listen in, and you can have like a really good idea of what's going on with that teams. I think, in my opinion. So for me, that's enough. That's more than enough, even. But yeah, I don't know.
Also, every team is generally easier, like bite-sized in and of itself, compared to something like 40k, where it takes an entire book to learn one team. You know, here you've got like sort of a more bite-sized ability to learn each team.
Yeah, I'd say also there are some very obvious, like everyone has a medic, everyone has a comms, everyone has, like there are a lot of generics you can learn, and then it's just learning the 1 or 2 combos each team has. But Christopher Otten asked something that I think is quite interesting, because you all know I love my hobby, right? But when I look at a new set, I'm like, oh, that's a cool set. I'm going to build it as it is. I might do something with the models. Like, maybe I want to, use the Black Templar team instead of generic intercessors or whatever. But a lot of people like to kit bash terrain. He asks, how do you like the new set from a hobby perspective? Do you plan to modify it in some way? And I'm looking at the terrain and I'm like, well, no, I don't want to.
Nope.
But maybe some people do. And
I have an existing Kroot team, and I built it last edition to be, and it counts as Tau. So they're all they have all the Tau weapons and everything. So my first thing when I look at this Kroot team is I'm going to try and match the aesthetic of my current Tau team, which is all Pathfinder shoulder pads and like a bunch of the like Warcry those bird people. Like I used a bunch of their feathers and stuff, and so I plan to do that with the Kroot that I'm getting from this box for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Kroot are probably significantly more kit bash friendly than the breachers, and I'm probably going to leave the terrain alone for sure, because I mean, just based on what I've seen from watching your channel, Glass, it seems like the terrain has to be very specifically done, so I don't want to screw with that at all. But the whole aesthetic of the Kroot as mercenaries, and it even talks about them gaining cybernetics and all this stuff, it really just kind of begs for you to put random weapons and all sorts of fun stuff on there and just give them a nice unique look. Or like you were saying earlier, put the BioShock helmets on the Navy Breachers. that could also be really fun.
What he had mentioned in the question too about magnetizing things. For Kill Team, I typically don't do magnetization on anything. For Big 40K, I have for like Eldar weapon platforms and things like that to be able to swap out the heavy guns. But for Kill Team, I haven't really just I guess I just like building what they have in the box, and like you said, Philip, kit bashing things with other things from the bit box.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, me too. I will say from that perspective, actually, Kroot are probably the first team that I've got where I was like, you know what? This needs another box, but not because I need another box to fill out the roster, because all the poses are so unique and cool. I'm like, I kind of want a second box just to, because there were so many just like generic warrior stances that weren't your specialists that I was like, they look really cool actually. So
I felt the same way about the Void Scarred when they came out too. They were
that's true actually, and they even have different loadouts, so that would actually make a lot more sense to do. Because Oh, did you?
I ended up just kit bashing a bunch of additional warriors using various Eldar bits that I had from Guardians and Drakari and things like that.
Sure. Because all the arms just fit, didn't they? Yeah.
I'd say one of the benefits of this edition is actually that you don't need to kit bash as well. So if you do it, it's purely your own sort of thing. Like I remember in last edition, I was trying to make Space Marine teams and double plasma pistols, buying individual parts to try and create this super niche roster that you can actually only use once, and then you find out the new edition comes out and it's all completely irrelevant. And there I am snapping arms off. So that's a cool thing. And I'd say when it comes to the terrain, I think, what is it you're actually buying it for? So if you're going to buy it for home play and do whatever, fine. But if you're buying it to take it to a store to play in competitive tournaments like we do in the UK, everyone brings terrain to make those tournaments work. I think you probably just want to avoid kit bashing and just keep it as simple and easy as possible because it's going to get broken.
I thought we were about to go off. Okay.
Sorry, my phone.
It wasn't me this time.
I think the terrain would be really cool to throw a bunch of green stuff on and nerglify it. I want to get it up and running as quick as possible, so I'm not going to do that, at least with this one. But I think that would be really cool. It's like a chaos tainted. Assuming we won't get that, I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't think we would. I don't know anything. But
that's a good point, though, Ben. Because sorry, go ahead.
Ben loves the taint. Yes.
You know me, baby. You know me. That's my brand.
But with the way the line of sight works now, I think you could get away with that a little bit easier than you can with open board style terrain too. So that's a really good point.
Yeah. I would just add that because everything is working on the grid, as long as you make your things stick to the grid, you can do anything you want, and you just say it's not on the grid, so it's not really there.
Yeah, tentacle here, tentacle there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time to me.
One of the
tentacles and taints. That's Ben.
Loves them.
That's a t-shirt. That's a good t-shirt. Battle Brothers Tabletop. Tentacles and taints.
Yeah, for my terrain, the stuff that I take to the hobby store is basically just very minimally painted, just kind of spray of silver and maybe a dry brush over it. But the stuff at my home is definitely more. I put more love into that.
That makes sense.
The terrain's an interesting tension, isn't it? Because I've seen some stuff on, I think it was on Goonhammer, with the new terrain where apparently you can get it to dock with the pipes from some of the older terrain sets, and it's all kind of lined up for cool hobby. And it's the same with all the open terrain from the first season as well. You could do really interesting things from a modeling perspective with that stuff. But I've always felt this urge to kind of build it as it is in the box, to use it as kind of that map pack for that thing, because you want to have that standardized experience. But then you feel like you're building it and you think, I could, if I had 5 sets of this, I could make this really cool thing. But you have to decide what you're going to do with your stuff and what your stuff is for and where your joy is, I think. And so for me, keeping it standard, I feel is the best thing to do with the Kill Team stuff.
I always try and make every, because I think about it, I usually run events with the terrain that I get. So I don't know what, and I'm thinking future proof. So I always try and make everything as modular as possible. Like if there's something that makes sense not to glue, I don't glue it, and I'll put it together on the board. And so I usually do everything as modular as I can.
Yep. If you've got the terrain class, but to answer the magnetization question, I'm assuming you don't need magnets. It will just fit together, right?
No.
So,
No.
Doesn't need magnets.
I don't know why people keep asking about magnets. I feel like it's been very clear.
How do they work?
Completely modular. Well, it is magic. Yeah.
We haven't got an hour to go through magnets in high detail.
Ben is also a juggalo, confirmed.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm just outing myself. This is horrible.
Got your Fago there, Ben?
It would be so much work to make this magnetized, and I was going to show you. So I just took a piece off so it won't work, but it all fits together so well. I can hold one bit of it and pick the whole set up.
Oh,
right,
nice.
so it's completely jammed together. I don't know why I swapped that for magnets. and there's no glue on any of it. So they've done a really good job, and that's after I filed down the connection joints, so it's too tight normally, obviously. I don't know what you'd use magnets for, to be honest. I guess it would clip together faster.
I want to make a quick comment for one of the people in the YouTube chat. Vinter Bjork, as a playtester, I can neither confirm nor deny a Gravity Falls kill box team.
Finally, before we kick off, I think we can all agree here with Isaac Hunt. I hope someone glues all theirs together so we can laugh at them.
The Goonhammer guys.
That will be hilarious.
The Goonhammer guys already did that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
In their article, he glues it because he turns it into his like Necromunda board bottom level.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
he knew what he was doing then.
Intentionally.
Oh, that's
See, that's one of my hobby things, is having come from showing my age here, second edition 40K and the first version of Necromunda is I want to build these crazy like multi-story buildings, and then it's like, oh wait, I can't do that in Kill Team.
Yeah. You can.
Although,
it's just the rules are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
You could easily do it if you just buy 8 different boxes of Kill Team.
Like,
or 9. And
This
then
message is
you
approved
set out
by
each board.
DDoS.
like your mechanic is to build that oil rig. That they had it.
James' workshop is just out of frame, holding a gun to Glass's head.
Tell them to get 8.
Buy 9. Buy 9. Glue them.
Tell them Kroot's good again. Tell them Kroot's good again.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. This has been really good fun. I didn't know what was happening here. I just thought I'd bring people on because I have had these rules for like 3 weeks and I can't say anything. It's driving me crazy. So it was just good to get it all out there, is all I can say. So thank you very much to everybody for coming along. I'm going to finish everything up now. Should we say goodbye? Like, Jack,
goodbye.
I more meant one at a time so that you can
like a Mexican way of buys.
So starting with Janice, then Better Brothers, then Ryan, then Ross. Does that make sense?
It's been great. I've had a good time here talking Kill Team with people. Omar, I do agree. My poor wallet with everything that Games Workshop's putting out this year between Kill Team, Votan, and World Eaters. I'm going to have to take out a second mortgage on my house. So, all right, everybody. Take care. Bye.
See you, Janice.
Yeah, see ya.
See you.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, all right, later, guys. It's been good to chat with everybody. And, a lot of folks I haven't seen since KTO, and a couple of folks I haven't even video chatted with at all. So, yeah, good to see you guys and chat.
See you
Thanks for
tomorrow.
having me. See you tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're doing a podcast tomorrow, doing Kill Team Casuals. So that'll be coming later in the week. And you ready for Legions of Rust, Glass?
No.
I think my invite got lost.
I'm just going to tune out, honestly, like mentally. I'd be like,
That's the way to play the game.
okay,
That's the tactic.
Yes. Yeah, have you seen me?
Yeah.
Have you seen me try? Yeah.
But you get them.
Not the last one, but sure, sort of. We'll see.
Awesome. All right. See ya. Battle Brothers tabletop. Bye.
Pleasure talking to you all. I'll make a shout out to Isaac Hunt in the chat, the worst silence player in London. So good job, buddy. I'll appreciate that one. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. I hope to speak to you guys more, and take it easy.
See you, Ryan.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much for having me on. It's been it's been fun to talk Kill Team, and I will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. So sorry we couldn't talk more about the narrative side for you, because I imagine that will come onto your channel.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it into the campaign, hopefully.
Are we going to get to see your some hand modeling as you pull out a deck of cards to explore the Galodar? Okay, something to consider.
Yeah. Right. I'll make a note.
Okay, thanks very much, Russ. See you
later.
Bye, everybody. And a triple hello.
That is IP infringement. Goodbye.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me on, Glass. This was a lot of fun, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Thank you very much, Phil. See ya.
Thank you, guys. Really happy to be here. And I'm now going to comment in Nova, so Kill Team doesn't end for me, like ever.
Awesome.
So, see you guys.
Have a good one. See ya.
Thanks for having me on, Glass, with all these real legends. Yeah, been a little bit out of my depth maybe, but yeah, cool. Please do check out the channel if you want even more somehow. But yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
Thanks very much for coming. Tabletop Impulse. See ya.
And then there were me and you.
And then there were me and you. Good counting. Yes, that's right. That's right.
No, thanks for having me. This was a blast. We got a lot of turnout. It was awesome. Just I guess last kind of sign off is Kill Team Open is coming in February.
February
18th and 19th. That is a holiday over in the States, so we have a nice long weekend. We have a new venue. We're redoing how we do everything. We're going to have a dedicated narrative track for all those narrative players who want to get involved.
Awesome.
Special guest TO that we'll announce it later at some point. But yeah, happy to be on board and hope everybody can make it out.
Definitely hope we'll hear more about it closer to the time.
Oh, of course. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Have a good one, Steve. Bye.
Thanks.
And now we are back to just me. So, guys, I guess I'm going to sign off here. There was a big thanks to everybody for coming on and doing that. I didn't know. So I sent out a question to 12, 13, 14, 15 people. Said, hey, do you want to come on? Whilst these people were on, there were more people attempting to join the stream, but I didn't feel like I could kick people. So I was like, well, first come, first serve, baby. So anyway, just want to say thank you very much for being here, watching this stuff. On the off chance anybody that is still watching this stream, hour and a half in, and isn't in my Discord, if you want to chat more Kill Team, head on over to the Discord, obviously, because I can only put out so much content, 3 videos a day, tops. I can't do anything else. But obviously in the Discord, it's 24/7 Kill Team loving, babies. And then there's probably some other stuff I meant to be pimping as well, but I've honestly forgotten. Probably my Patreon and some merch, which I'm not wearing, so that's a great advert for my merch, obviously. Yes, let's finally catch up with chat quickly just before I head off. Take care all. Good stream. Thanks. Oh, wait, I can click the things. Hold on. Yeah, take care all. Thank you. Hughes Jam. See you soon. That was strangely heartwarming for a Kill Team. It's all about the heart warmth here. Very wholesome. That's how I like to keep it. That's my. You've got to put into the universe what you want to get back. Glass is going to the States. I believe that actually the States. I know that they're a little bit backwards, but I believe they have already invented glass. So I don't have to head over there for them to get the benefit of that technology. However, I might be. It's undecided. I find myself with a smidgen of free time. I'm terrible at forward planning, but I might be able to find myself a spare weekend in February. Where is it? I want to say it's... I'm terrible with states. Delaware? Detroit? No, it's not Detroit. I'm thinking of Detroit Become Human. I think it's actually in Maryland, now that I really consider it, though. Baltimore, that's the one. It began with a D or a B, roughly the same thing, So now, I've got to be honest, I've never once in my life thought I want to go to Baltimore, but who knows? I have to Google it to find out what's there, right? Who knows? Fingers crossed, we shall see. Anything else? Speculating Wicked. Oh, that's cool. Baltimore Solid Chat. I hear you on the forward plan. Yeah, no, I'm terrible at planning ahead. Like right now, there in Poland, there's a tournament. I want to say on the 24th, like 23rd, 24th of this month, and I might go, but I haven't decided yet because I can't plan 20 days ahead. That's how bad I am. Okay. Yeah. So. I'm terrible at planning. This is why I don't even try now. I might say like the week before, hey, are there still tickets left to a local tournament? And inevitably there aren't. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. This being Glass Half Dead. I hope you've all had a good time listening to this. This will probably, because why not? end up on my podcast, Vantage Point. On the off chance you haven't subscribed to Vantage Point, my Kill Team podcast, I did just do a podcast, because it is a podcast, an episode all about Gellerpox, where me and a London TO really broke them down and discussed how we can do them. Oh, and that very same ask, have you bought your ticket to LGT? I have not, no. I can't plan that far. I just mentioned that I can't plan to the 24th of this month. LGT is like another week after that, so I can't handle it. I have to think, or no, I have to not think and then just hope it works out a week before I should be there. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. Oh, you know what, in 40 hold on, I can in 40 minutes, my hobby video is going to go live. Now, some of you might have already seen my hobby video, and it's going live again because it has actually been up on my channel for 3 weeks already. That's how long ago I finished it and put it up. And in that time, something's gone wrong with it, and it didn't let me make it go live properly. And I think people didn't quite get notifications, so I actually deleted it, and I'm putting up a new one. So if you could help me out by still going and clicking on the premiere of that, so that it doesn't just get 0 views, that'd be really cool. Thank you very much. Bit of a weird one, I realise. But I think I did a funny hobby video, so there you go. Alright guys, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day.